Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Why are humans like this? If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. So if you guys were in my live the other day, which I deleted, shout out to Embracing Life and Kim at Home for watching that live and making a comment. I had to delete it because I couldn't stand the audio, y'all. It was horrible. I don't even know why I kept it up as long as I did. But I had my earpiece in and I didn't realize that it was so staticky and whatever was going on with it. Yeah, I wasn't listening to the live as I was doing it, which I should have. So I learned my lesson. I finally figured out how to do StreamYard. But anyway, so yeah, I decided to talk about Brooke Shields because I think I was scrolling on Facebook or somewhere and I saw that she did something with Oprah Winfrey. It's a part of Oprah's Daily's The Life You Want class. So I guess Brooke was on there and she talked about her childhood, talked about her relationship with her children. Her two daughters made her realize, certain things such as she was basically hoarding clothing. She would buy clothes and never really wear it. Her mom believed that it was better to buy 10 cheap sweaters than to buy one good one. So Brooke went the opposite direction of her mother, which usually happens. Her mom was more into quantity and Brooke was more about quality. So she would buy nice products and, different type of clothing and keep in her closet, collect dust, and she wouldn't wear it. And her daughter was like, hey, like, why aren't you wearing these? These are nice stuff. You bought it, you should wear it. And if you don't buy it, if you don't wear it, we will wear it. So it made Brooke really get in her feelings, I guess, and start to really think about her childhood. So as you guys already know, Brooke Shields is a actress. She started out as a model. Like, she has been in modeling since she was a baby, like just less than a year old, I think. Yeah, she was 11 months old when she started modeling, doing all type of commercials. And, she turned into a supermodel and then got into acting and stuff like that. So she was always beautiful, and her mom, noticed that early on that she was a beautiful girl, and she realized that was her money bag, you know what I'm saying? So Brooke was basically the breadwinner. So a quick background on Brooke Shields. I forgot how Brooke's mother met her father, but they met somehow. Brooke's mom got pregnant, and then that kind of like forced them to get married. The marriage didn't last long, and I believe that Brooke's mom just divorced the dad without even letting him know, and they divorced. So her mom was just like a really independent type of thinker and doing her own thing. So her mom was more focused, honestly, about just making money than she was about inappropriate things that Brooke would get involved with. For example, her mom had Brooke modeling nude as young as 9, 10 years old. And I can't believe that was even allowed back then. Brooke was born in 1965. So by 75, she was being nude. Like, I just don't understand that. But, it was different times back then. So, yeah, she did Playboy. She'd pose nude for Playboy. And her mom saw it as more artistic. She saw it as art. And Brooke at the time obviously she was a kid. She didn't really think anything was wrong with it until she got older. She started to think about it. But as I watched, Brooke Shields also has a docuseries on Hulu. It's called Pretty Baby. Check it out. It's worth watching. It was kind of a little bit tough to watch because I can't believe, like I said, those things were allowed back then. So yeah, her mom was just basically very open-minded, blindly getting Brooke involved in scenes and movies and stuff that a child her age should not have been in. At the age of 12, Brooke played a prostitute in a movie. The movie is actually called Pretty Baby. So in 1977, when Brooke Shields was only 12 years old, so the synopsis of the movie says, Hattie, played by Susie Ann Sarandon, a New Orleans hooker, meets a photographer named Belloc or something like that, played by Keith Carradine, at her brothel one night, and after he photographed her, he befriends her 12-year-old daughter, Violet, played by Brooke Shields. When Violet is brought on as a working girl by her mother's madam, and Hattie skips to get married, Violet quickly loses her innocence and focuses on reuniting with Belloc. or Belloc. I don't know how to say the name. But a life with Belloc is compromised for Violet after her mother returns to town. So yeah, playing a prostitute at 12 years old. And so y'all, I thought that back then anything just goes and they were just cool with whatever, they were down with whatever. But when you watch Pretty Baby, the docuseries on Hulu, you will see that even back then, they were giving the mom the business. Like they were like, this is not okay. People were saying, they were calling it kiddie porn back then. You know, that was abuse. That was considered some type of sexual abuse. I don't know how to explain it, but it was basically like some type of sexual abuse because you have a minor involved in adults situations. And I can't put all the blame on the mom because the directors and whoever was allowing stuff like this to happen, they're just as wrong. Like I don't understand how those things were able to be released. But one thing I noticed about Brooke is when they did interviews with her back then, she was like always prepared with the answer when they asked her, like, hey, how do you feel about doing this? And, what do you think about your mom letting you do this? She always had an answer. It's like her mom really prepped her really well, really well. But I am so glad to know that people thought it was wrong back then because I thought they were okay with it because that's why they allowed it. But she got a lot of backlash for allowing her daughter to do nude and is doing movies like Pretty Baby. But the mom was very adamant, like, I don't care. She never seemed to be affected by the media's negative, remarks and stuff like that. And again, like Brooke had her mom's back. Like she would always have an answer like, well, my mom, she does it tastefully and it's not like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like Brooke had her mom back and they were really close. Like they had a strong friendship, but it took time for Brooke to see that her mom, had abusive ways by letting her minor daughter do grown up things. Like your daughter should not be showing anybody her body other than you, if necessary, and her doctor. Nobody else needs to see your daughter's body. And it sadly was considered art by some people. And then Brooke talked about how her mom was an alcoholic. So I think that really did cloud her mom's judgment because she was like just not thinking clearly. And Brooke did say that her mom was emotionally abusive, and like especially when she got drunk. She was like fine when she was sober. When she got drunk, she was mean. Like you had to like walk on eggshells. She talked about how Brooke talked about how one day she came home and her bestie was there with her and they like hid in the room or stayed in the room until she knew her mom was not like in the room anymore because she didn't want to deal with her mom. So just like kind of fast forward when Brooke got older and, like when she went to college and her mom started to realize that she was losing her grip on her daughter, you could tell that it really affected her mom. Like her mom really had Brooke attached to her like she never cut the umbilical cord. She didn't want to let go. It's like she didn't want Brooke to have independence. It was, there was abusive behavior. It was beyond mother-daughter. It was like some type of sick, codependency. It's like her mom couldn't live without Brooke, literally. Like we all love our children. Parents should love their children. But if you don't want to see your child grow, expand, learn, and be independent, then there is a problem. That means you're not living your own life and you're living through your child. And I just feel like her mom was living through Brooke. No shade to Brooke's mom, but her mom was not pretty like Brooke. Brooke got her looks from her dad. So sometimes I wonder if her mom was low-key jealous of Brooke and she used Brooke to get the attention that she would never get. And that's a part of the reason why she was an alcoholic. Brooke said that her mom's mother was not like a gentle, soft mom. Like her mom lived a rough life. She wasn't happy. So she just didn't have a happy childhood. And clearly that affected her. That's why she turned to the bottle. Like usually when someone is alcoholic, they're trying to suppress feelings. They have some type of emotional imbalance going on. People drink for many reasons, but if you're alcoholic, you have poor coping skills. And so you resort to the bottle to help you. I wish Brooke's mom was able to get the opportunity to get the help she needed. Brooke mentioned that her mom only temporarily stopped drinking alcohol, but she was back to it. So, from the time Brooke was a child to when she was an adult, her mom died an alcoholic. Very unfortunate, but I'm glad that Brooke became free at some point of her life from her mom's abuse. Even if your mom helped you become the supermodel, the superstar that you are today, I'm glad that Brooke realized that her mom's behavior was inappropriate. It was abusive. You can still love someone and see that they are wrong in ways. You can still love someone, even your mother, and see that she was wrong in certain things that she did. You can commend her for raising you to be independent, to be a go-getter, but then you could also see that you were exposed to things that you shouldn't have been exposed to as a child. In hindsight, Brooke knows, but anybody who has, who is thinking clearly can see that it's not okay to have a minor being naked for modeling or a movie or anything like that. Any type of sexual activities or situations involving children is just inappropriate. Like, let these kids be kids. But, again, her mom, for lack of better terms, like her mom used Brooke to make money. Brooke made it seem like they were having such a good time, that it didn't matter, because at the time Brooke was so young. So her mom is her everything. She's highly influenced by her mother. Her mom says it's okay, so she's going to think it's okay. She had to see later on in life that what her mom was doing was wrong. It was very abusive. And because Brooke didn't have her dad in her life in the home, she had a relationship with him. It was just her mom. And I feel like if her dad and her mom were still together in the same home, I don't think Brooke would have been allowed to do all those things, because Brooke did express that her dad was not okay with what she was doing. Like, he didn't even really see her movies like that. I mean, can you imagine like a dad? I don't think any dad wants to see their daughter any type of nudity. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's your baby girl. There's a thin line between art and just straight up abuse. And her mom definitely was on the side of abuse, because, even if you want to make your daughter a star and you want to make money, you were exploiting your daughter. It was straight up exploitation. And just watching the docuseries made me very uncomfortable. It was just really weird seeing Brooke doing some of the things she did. And when her daughters asked her, like, would you have let us do those things back then? That was straight up like child pornography. Brooke said, no, I wouldn't have let you guys do that. But I think Brooke was, like I said, so caught up in that life and her mom's influence that it seemed like nothing to her. One last thing I think I will comment on is that Brooke actually, even though she was highly sexualized by, her mother, the media, and everything, she did not lose her virginity until she was an adult. So it took her years to actually, actually be sexual. Even though she was sexualized as a child, she wanted to wait until it was the right situation before she gave herself to a man. And so I respect Brooke so much for waiting as long as she did to have sex. People would probably assume that, oh, she was so sexual and it would appear that she was already having sex, but she wasn't. And that's why you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, because it may seem like she was like that, but doesn't mean anything. And I definitely respect Brooke for that, because I don't know how she did it. She was so influenced by a sexual atmosphere, but for her to maintain herself and not give it up easily and early, that's amazing. Like, that's a superpower. We all see that Brooke was a very beautiful woman, and she maintained so much strength to hold it in and keep it to herself, because she could have had any man she wanted, but she decided to wait until the right one came along, and I definitely respect that. Overall, it was very interesting learning about Brooke from her being on Oprah's little series. I didn't get a chance to watch that yet because you have to pay or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you had to pay to see that interview that she did with Oprah. But my video today is mainly just on Pretty Baby, the docuseries on Hulu. I recommend you watch it. I probably won't watch it again because, like I said, it was uncomfortable to watch. It was cringy. I don't like seeing children in compromising situations. It was just a hard watch. But, I mean, it's good to watch it to learn about history, where it started and where it is now. I mean, children are still sexualized, but I'm glad that people are not going to be down for that in this time and age. Like, if it was like another girl trying to be on Playboy, whatever situation, that could not happen. So I'm glad times have definitely changed. But overall, children are still being exploited. Children are still being abused. And so it's going to take a long time for things to get better. But if you're a parent or if you're someone who has a child in your life, all you can do is do your best to protect the children that are in your lives. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know. Did you see Brooke's special on Oprah? Did you watch Pretty Baby on Hulu? Have you seen the movie Pretty Baby before? I have not seen it. It's not on any streaming platforms that I have. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for being a great supporter.